dive 885 on the Klein, Hollandia out of Eastbourne. This was a dive from May 2026 and was a dive on a protected wreck site as part of the Nautical Archaeological Society's Protected Wreck Days. We were diving on dive boat RW from dive 125. Starting off the site here, we have these large stone blocks which we made our way around. The shot had been placed fairly central, which helped. We have these two Scarlet lady nudibranchs there, and then as we round the stone pillars, we can orientate ourselves by seeing cannon number 11. This cannon is unique that it points upwards towards the sky. Some modern steel cable there, potentially from trolling activity, and then onto iron cannon number 14, and below that one of the main points of interest on the wreck, which is bronze cannon number 8. Here at the end of the cannon, which we'll go to in a second, you can make out the words Cornelius, which is the maker's mark for a famous Dutch cannon maker. Moving along back to the iron cannons, here we have a fairly gnarly looking lobster, which has been here quite a while I believe, and then another bronze cannon number 4. This one is less interesting as there's not any visible markings on it, but making our way along the barrel towards the muzzle of the gun. Then shooting over to cannon number 2, another iron cannon here, but behind it is the main point of interest, which is bronze cannon number 1. We'll come back to get a better look at these markings in a second, but making our way down the cannon, we have these two dolphins. These were used to pass rope underneath them to help anchor and maneuver the cannon around. Having a look in the barrel there, you can see a conger eel has made its home within the cannon. And then swimming down the barrel of the gun, quite heavily encrusted with barnacles now, but you can see bits that are fairly clean still. Again, these two dolphins, a couple European painted top shells on them as well. And here we have the markings. On the right of screen you can see the 7 arrows, which denote the different provinces that made up the United Netherlands, as well as some writing there in the centre of the screen. And at the barrel of the gun here you can see the number 164, and I believe either a 3 or a 5, which can act as another dating point. Swimming around the barrel of gun number 10 now, and then making our way back down the side. That tapping sound you can potentially hear in the background is one of the NAS divers. His job on this dive was to come and help chip away at a bit of stone to take it away for testing, to try and identify the origin, and he spent the dive there. We could hear him tapping away. We've just passed the back of bronze cannon number 3, and then back to cannon number 4, which we saw earlier in this dive. Having a look in the barrel this time, as we swam past before, you can see another conger eel has made its home in the barrel. Quite a handy shape for them. Coming back to cannon number 2 for a second, as a flatfish there attracted my attention. I believe this is a Topknot, but IDing flatfish is quite tricky. And again, the dolphins of cannon number 1. Having done a circle there, we continue along the site, past what I believe is a wooden beam here. And this will take us to an area of the wreck covered in tiles. The tiles have been ID'd of being of Carrara marble. and all are fairly uniform in size. We'll get to them in a second. Here you can see some of the tiles coming to shot. A couple conger eels hiding underneath them there. And as we pan up and to the right, you can see the stacks of tiles. This was likely one of the cargoes of the ship. Velvet swimming crab on the right, and another conger eel underneath the tiles. And then we head back to cannon number 16, a lobster underneath it there, as we swim up to the end. Edible crab, and a piece of pottery there on the ground as well. Believe that's another piece of marble on the ground as we get back to the wooden beam. And this takes us back to cannon number 4. We were slightly turned around going in circles here, but we do in a second find a new area of the site. Here's this bottle, but I believe that's fairly modern compared to the shipwreck itself. And here we have partially buried cannon number 5. You can see the barrel fairly clearly there, but as you make your way along the cannon, it becomes partially buried and unburied. Bearing right, we head to one of the main areas of remaining wood on the site. Bit of a jumble here as we swim over. This was likely bits of decking and the hull of the ship, which started to go black after all these years underwater. But you can still make out a fairly obvious bit of structure here. And then we come to cluster of iron cannons number 7. On the left here, some more wood. And in a second, we will pan up to see one of the cannons itself. We were getting towards the end of our planned dive time, so had a quick look here. A couple small conger eels underneath the wreckage here. Turning right, there is a baby conger eel there, as well as some of that modern steel wire. Final look round the back of the cannon before we deployed our DSNBs and ascended to the surface.